welcome to 500 Open Tabs. I'm KUMITA3.
And I'm Hannah Hillam.
Welcome to the show. Guess what today is, Hannah?
Kumitab.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like Liberation Day, because that's not what it is at all.
No. Liberation? What are you talking about? This is LA 2025.
Yeah.
Speaking of LA, I'm in LA right now.
Hannah is here. She is in my home. The monster is in the house. I can't get rid of. She has commandeered my beautiful couch.
Yep, it's my bed.
Refuses to leave off the couch. She's put all of her lead elements on top of it.
Not
My
everything
house
I own
is
is
covered in
made of
lead. Covered in lead.
Not everything. I'm already bringing insanity to this. Not everything I own is made of lead. One thing is, and it is in front of me.
And it's directly in front of me on my desk, on my in my computer area. I'm getting infected by lead. Thanks, Hannah. I appreciate that. But no, Hannah's visiting because we're going to be on another podcast, and we thought, you know what? This would be a great time for us to record KUMITA3.
KUMITA3.
The branches of Kumitab, right? Because last time it was KUMITAB, which I know you were not okay with.
I wanted
KUMITAB, but I wanted the K. The K is what you need. You need the K.
KUMITAB.
KUMITAB. Right. So this one's KUMITA. Should we be KUMITA3? But now the B at the end is a 3.
I don't even remember what it was. Kumite?
None of it matters. Kumite, yes.
KUMITA3.
KUMITA3.
Well, none of this matters. And to remind everybody, Kumitab is every 25 episodes, I gather all of the people and places we've talked about, and I make it into like a battle royale. So I'll be choosing randomly 2 fighters and then a random place to battle in. And this is our 3rd one, which means we've done 75 episodes.
Yeah, I think, although this one got pushed back 1 episode.
2 episodes.
1 or 2 episodes because you did the LGBT for the month of June, but still.
Somebody's moving.
Yeah.
Alyssa, good luck on the move.
Good luck on the move, Alyssa.
I hope it all went well.
We love you. We know you're the most miserable you've ever been.
Ever.
I know this because I just moved, and it's awful. So.
And the unhinged texts we've been getting from Alyssa have been like,
they're actually
a window into her world.
So much funnier than you can imagine.
They're... things you're just we were like, what is she talking about? And usually we like roll with things.
Yeah,
we're like, Alyssa, are you okay?
No, it's great. It's like Alyssa's the gift that keeps on giving, because I think like she's Shrek. She's like an onion with layers. And
she
so
is.
Like the next layer that gets peeled back, where I'm like, oh, I didn't know Alyssa was that insane.
Underneath the tap dance layer is the insane layer. And hang on, do we need to be closer? No,
it's fine.
Hear you. Yeah, so. I'm going to lick this lead microphone stand and we're going to get going.
That's
I want to give some
ceremony
context.
Of starting Kumitab is to lick lead. Let the great Kumitab begin.
I don't need to lick lead to be this stupid. Some context.
Yes, that's right. Let the audience know who, for some reason, is still listening if they've never listened to another episode.
So start with this one.
First of all, don't listen to the show. No point.
Please don't listen to him.
Yeah.
All right. Wow.
That's the same thing. Don't listen to the show. Don't listen to me.
Just listen to me.
Then we just had an agreement.
Oh, we did have an agreement. We're having an agreement. Okay, so what was I saying?
You should explain to the people who are for some reason still listening, if they haven't already listened, what Kumitab is, how it works. I
just explained it.
Yes. So then I'm saying the context for what it is what you wanted to say.
So...
I don't know. I'm just telling you what you wanted to explain. No, I was giving context for the
lead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The reason I have a big hunk of lead in front of me, it's because I didn't want to buy a mic stand, and my dad happened to have 2 1930s mic stands in the garage.
Yes, that's why your voice comes out on the other side. You're like, hi, I'm Hannah Hillam. I'm here to talk to you about Kumitab.
Between airstrikes, I'm going to have some radio shows.
Yeah. Would you like to see me dance the Charleston?
That's how the Charleston And for all of those who have not seen us in person, it's way worse. So
it's true.
We're
far
way
more
worse. And by worse, we mean better.
Better, yay.
All right, we're going to get going, okay?
Okay, let's do it.
I'm going to randomly choose 2 out of these little bowls. See? Got set up with some of his bowls.
I put lead into my bowls that are in my home. Now I can't use them anymore. I'm going to have to throw them out.
Don't call me Hannah Lead Hillam for nothing.
Hannah Hillam, yeah.
I was trying to make that work. It doesn't work. Hannah let him. Okay, so the first one is we got Rube Waddell. Rube Waddell.
My boy.
Rube Waddell is that insane baseball player. And our second one is Richard. Again, We're starting off with a Richard Nixon.
That's how you
one.
know it's going to be good if you start with Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon dressed as a Pepsi bottle.
Right.
Like a la Duff Man.
Right. And then the...
from what episode
was
that?
It was just a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
So that was when Nixon was in Dallas the day that JFK got assassinated. But he was there because he was there for the Pepsi bottling convention.
Yes. And we talked about how what if he assassinated Kennedy dressed as a bottle of Pepsi?
Well, the whole point was that he's there for a convention, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what kind of... So he's cosplaying. Yeah, he's part of the cosplay alley. He's outside of the convention taking pictures with people. And he's like, cosplay is not consent. So they can't come grab him because he's wearing like some weird Pepsi thong because he likes to show off his ass.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to get the likes.
It's an assless Pepsi outfit. It's like a full structured bottle outfit. Just imagine.
We should tell people what happened. Which is the last time we recorded in person. Yeah. We kept getting interrupted. And now this time is no different.
Like twice the internet's gone out.
The internet just decided. I think the government's after us specifically because we are hugely influential.
We're podcasters. We are responsible for thought crimes and...
Honestly, this government I feel like would be very pro... Like they look to podcasters as like allies, as like important people.
Yeah, if you're Joe Rogan...
That's what I'm saying.
I'll be Joe Rogan. So you think aliens... do you think Richard Nixon... I can't even do it. So we're going to pick up from where we left off, which was with Nixon wearing an assless Pepsi bottle cosplay costume. And... Yes. He's versus Rube Waddell, and so I'm going to pick the place that they are fighting.
Location.
Okay, ready? At a nail salon.
Oh.
Yeah.
The nail salon, of course, being part of the Tippi Hedren episode, where she helped a bunch of Vietnamese women immigrants essentially start the entire industry.
Nail industry.
Okay.
So there's going to be a nail salon. I don't know if there's going to be people in there. I think it's just going to be a nail salon.
First question.
Salon. Okay.
Are they there to get their nails done and then they get in a fight? Or are they in there to start fighting? Because I think it's more fun if they were there to get their nails done.
I think Rube Waddell wandered in and Nixon was getting his nails done.
Yeah. I think Rube Waddell goes in there and he notices Nixon. Nixon gets embarrassed because he feels like it's somehow not like masculine or something. This is what I'm assuming.
You're immediately into like the psychological effects of this, where I'm like, who's going to beat the other one down to the ground?
I'm always thinking about like, what's the motivation for the fight, right? So I think Nixon's feeling embarrassment. Right? Because because he's getting his nails done. And I feel like that's not like cool. Not necessarily because of the masculine feminine association, but also because of like the white collar, like that seems like fancy for Nixon. He grew up like a Quaker boy, like in the middle of nowhere in Yorba Linda. So if anyone ever saw him spending money on himself to get his nails done, he would probably be deeply embarrassed.
Especially wearing a Pepsi bottle costume where his butt is just pancaking out on the chair underneath him.
Which makes it very difficult for him to sit there because his arms are kind of like, how much does it cover?
It covers his whole. It's just his hair. Here's the thing: there's only two openings, and it's just the oval for his face,
the front and the bottom.
But he has his legs. His legs are skinny little legs
like
are coming out. Yeah.
Okay. I think he comes in.
Wait, does he have hands, or is he in the bottle?
Oh, I think it's funnier if his hands are down. No, I kind of like that.
So there's no nails.
Nixon's already won before. Don't forget. So we gotta handicap him a little bit. Yeah.
I don't think he should be getting his nails done.
No. Here's what it is. There's only one hole. Here's what it is. He puts his hands behind his back, kind of like he's gonna behind his back, kind of like he's gonna grab his butt, but then he sticks his hands out that like he's getting arrested, right? But that's the only way that he can get his. Why he doesn't take the costume off during this entire time?
He can't.
I don't know.
It's Kumitab.
Okay, but anyway,
he's glued into it.
Hold on. Okay, so Vietnamese nail salon. We're going to be in California, right?
Yeah, we're in. Okay. Let's say Sacramento.
Okay, no, I didn't know if it was like in Dallas or not, but.
Oh, it should be.
But no, it's okay. No, You're right. California. It's California's where the industry starts.
But he is dressed as a Pepsi bottle, and remember he has a gun because he just shot JFK.
I think
this is off to a great start.
I think his arms are clasped in. He's sticking them out behind the butthole. Yeah. So no. So that's where he's getting his nails in. So there's at least one person working on his nails at the time.
Yeah.
When Rube Waddell. Okay. I'm gonna say for their safety, they run out because they don't want to get caught in the crossfire.
Look. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Rube Waddell comes in.
Yeah.
What does he see?
He has by the way, he has a baseball bat. I forgot to say that's his weapon of choice.
I think what happens is Rube Waddell sees Nixon. Yeah. He gets so excited that there's a giant bottle of Pepsi that he tries to drink him.
Okay. I'm already lost. Okay, hold on.
This is how the altercation begins.
Okay, so Rube Waddell would just be like, oh, cool, this is cool, this is interesting. Look at this big Pepsi.
No, he'd be like, that's the biggest bottle of Pepsi I've ever seen. I'm going to drink the entire thing in one swig. And he picks up Nixon like this.
Like this, like a kid, like a toddler, and lifts him up over his head and tries to drink out of the top of it.
Exactly. And
then
that's when Nixon
flips out. Because first of all, he can't even get his arms out except for the butthole.
Yeah.
And he has one hand out of his face hole and one out of
like this.
Professional podcasters.
Thank you, Mr. President, for promoting our show and making it so that the FBI doesn't come to our home. Anyway, yes. So I think he sticks one, I guess like you said, he sticks one hand out the mouth hole and then the butt, not the butt hole, but the hole for the butt.
The butt opening.
The rear opening. Flat. Is it like an old timey like flap?
Like a zip flap?
No, like the button ones like they have in the old cartoons where someone's sleeping.
Yes. No. Yes. No.
Okay.
No. Because his butt is just his like flat little butt.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
What is his his Pepsi Cola costume made of? Is it cardboard? Is it like Next Level where Nixon hired like a really...
He made it himself because it's cosplay.
Okay. So it's probably out of
cardboard.
Like cardboard or what's the other one?
That foam,
poster
like that
board
foam
or something.
kind of like, you know that like...
Is it flexible?
Yeah. I think it's like slightly flexible, but not flexible enough. So he could easily... Here's the thing. He's getting drunken by Rube Waddell, who's dropped his bat. So I think Nixon would try to grab the bat when the bat was put back down, but he can't hold it.
No, I think what he does is he puts his hand through the bottom hole.
Okay, bottom hole, both hands.
And does some sort of a nipple twist onto Rube.
That would not affect Rube. Rube wrestles alligators.
I guess that's true.
So Rube would immediately throw Nixon to the...
How do you get him out of there?
What do you mean?
No, I guess I'm saying he can't break away from Rube's grip because at that point Rube is so hyper-focused on
Rube Waddell wins immediately. He's like, this isn't actual Pepsi. I hate this. He throws him to the ground.
Yeah, you're right.
And Nixon can't get up because his hands are like this. His hands are like this, and he's trying to roll around and try to get up, but then Rube Waddell doesn't even have to use his bat. He just wrestles him to the ground, and then he's out.
I think maybe he tries to rip open the Pepsi to see if he can drink inside of it more.
He's
like
not
maybe
dumb.
Isn't he?
No, he's just ADHD, dude.
Okay. All right.
Rube Waddell. So that's it. I think Rube Waddell wins.
Rube Waddell wins. Sure. Let's do it. Love it. Nixon dies with beautiful nails at the end.
You can see them poking out of his...
Here's the real question.
What
is he getting? Just an aside.
Oh, the nails?
What kind of nails is he getting? Is he getting like a French manicure? French tips. So they can touch. So the tips can touch. So the French tips can kiss.
This one is Kissinger, and this one is this. And
look at Kissinger.
Kissing Nixon. Okay.
That's what he calls it, the Kissinger.
The Kissinger. And so he's dead. Here's the thing. He can't get up, and if he's left in a nail salon, the fumes are gonna like make him pass out, and he'll die.
Listen, I still think Nixon, he's got some good butt muscles of some sort that he could just start clenching them like
opposable thumbs, but your
kind of he's doing like butt kegels, like kind of like so he's like a Ren and Stimpy character, and he's able to use that to pop back up. And now he's standing again because you can't take down Nixon.
You can though.
Yeah. Okay. For the sake of clarity, let's just say that Rube Waddell wins.
And since my rule is that they have to die, Rube Waddell just takes him out with a bat
afterwards because he's so angry that there was no Pepsi Cola in there.
He wanted to drink a giant thing of Pepsi and he didn't get to.
And he just leaves.
All right, Rube Waddell wins the first round. Okay, next round. You ready for this? 2 years ago, if someone told me I'd be doing this,
Rube
I'd be
Waddell
like, what?
Fighting Nixon with his butt cut out of a Pepsi Cola. Okay, yes.
Raven and wolf combo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Versus an Aswang. Oh. One of the Filipino vampire. And they're going to be fighting.
This is scary.
I know. They're going to be fighting.
Uncomfortable. I'm afraid of this one.
They're going to be fighting on a train that's going through the mountain tunnels of Europe, a la like Snowpiercer. But it's
this is with the
Shah's train, and the Shah's just chilling on there.
He's writing about it in his diary.
He's like, this is there's no men involved in this, but I'll still write about it.
The soldiery.
So we've got a train going high speed through the European mountains, with a raven and a wolf versus the Filipino phantom. What is it? Aswang. Which the Aswang, its superpowers are that it's a shapeshifter and it can drink your blood. And ravens and wolves can communicate with each other.
Yeah.
And ravens can poke eyes out really well.
The thing I remember, the Manananggal, I believe, I keep failing at the pronunciation, but the idea is that it can split its torso from the rest of its body, remember?
Disgusting.
It's crazy. And then like all the innards are hanging out.
That's right.
So I think the first thing it does is that it divides the crow and the wolf so that they can't work in tandem. So it distracts them. So one goes to one end of the train and the other one goes to the other end of the train so that they separate them.
You think the Aswang's going to win?
Yeah, dude. I think it's terrifying.
I feel like I almost didn't put it in because I feel like it was just OP. It's like it's just going to destroy everything. Can it be destroyed?
I think it can be destroyed, right?
Hold on.
I got to go back and look at my notes. There's like a thing about it, what they're supposed to do to get them to go away. It's
Hold
like
on.
something that's family related. Or it's like you have like blood or like something that you're supposed to put out in front of your...
You're supposed to put a bamboo stake through their back, behead them.
Okay, here's the real question is does the Shah, the 1800s Shah of Iran weigh in on this somehow? Does he get accidentally involved?
No, he's just chilling.
He's chilling?
Yeah.
He's
just
too
like,
busy
ooh!
He's just taking notes.
Yeah.
Okay, first
He's
of all...
well, I mean, if they want, I guess he could get involved. No, he's not involved. He's not involved.
He's not involved. Okay.
I don't even think he should be there.
So between the wolf and the crow...
Yeah.
Who
Wolf
do you
and Raven.
think... I'm sorry, wolf and the raven. Who do you think would win first?
Against the Aswang or against
lose?
each other?
Torso, upper body, or lower body? Do you think that the crow is stronger or the wolf? I keep saying crow. The raven or the wolf?
They work perfectly together. That's the problem.
But I'm saying they're separated.
I don't want them to be.
But that's just what happens in KUMITA3.
How do you think it's gonna Look at me, Ma. I'm a podcaster. Okay, but how would he separate? Sorry, are you saying that the raven is the torso?
No. I'm saying that the Aswang separates itself into two. So it distracts. So the crow goes.
So its guts are hanging out, right?
Raven the guts go to one side of the train because they're trying to split the two of them up.
Ravens and wolves love eating guts.
Oh, that's true.
They would just devour the guts.
So they're not even fighting. They're just eating. And then he'd be like, "Get off of me! Get off me! Leave me alone!"
And he can't put himself back together again because the raven's just pecking his eyes out and pulling his guts out one by one.
You know what goes really well with a bunch of guts from a monster?
What?
A nice, cold, delicious, giant,
Pepsi.
oversized glass of Nixon Nixon Pepsi with ass hanging out.
So I don't know. That's my argument for the crow because if he separates them, and his guts are hanging out.
The guts are on one side, and then the other side doesn't have the guts. So it's just like legs on one side. It's like lower torso and upper torso.
But are their guts accessible on both?
No, I think
like
the guts hang out on the top side if I remember correctly from all the lore that I saw.
Because the wolf would just eat the guts.
The wolf would eat the guts. Okay, so then what about the bottom half though? The legs? The legs are going to be kicking the raven over and over again.
The raven can fly.
Yeah, but the legs are still pretty good. They're
on a
straight
train.
up demon.
Okay, there's no opposable thumb, so they can't open the train door.
You came down here on a train, so you have more recent train experience. So, like, what are the things that are going to get in the way? Is it like a 12-year-old kid
shaky.
Comes over and starts talking to them about drawing in the middle of this battle?
There's going to be a bunch of weirdos on the train.
They're all going to be telling them train facts, which is literally what happened to you on the on the ride down.
12-hour train ride, and 1 billion people were like, "Did you know?" And I'm like, "I love this."
Yeah.
But maybe not all the time.
I think that gets in the way. I think that.
Do you think this train is populated? But it would just be populated with the Shah and his entourage.
His entourage. But hold on. Is this going to happen in the 80s? Because all these people.
This is in the 1800s.
It's going to happen in the 1800s.
Yes.
I think train enthusiasts have been around since the beginning of trains.
Course.
So I don't
think it's an 1800s train, so it's wobbly and terrifying. And when they go through the tunnels, it's dark. Remember that. It's dark.
There's no lights anywhere.
So every once in a while, it comes out of the tunnel and you get light.
Oh, and then you pop up and pop
back in.
Two people are kissing secretly.
Yep. The Aswang and the Shah.
What if the lower half of the Aswang and the raven kissed?
With what mouth?
That's up to you.
What if the Aswang is also wearing an assless costume?
Everyone's wearing an assless costume the entire time through. The Shah's wearing one. The Aswang's wearing one. The crow is wearing one for some reason.
Okay, let's say the crow is. Let's say the raven and the wolf are able to destroy the top half.
Okay.
Eat it up.
They ate it. Just because there's guts. Okay, here's the thing.
What about the bottom half?
Food coma. Immediately they get a food coma, and now they're slower.
They're not you or me.
For the sake of this contest, okay. Now they're full.
Okay, they're full. So now are they not motivated? They're not motivated by food.
What do we think that the Aswang had eaten that would have caused them to have potential tummy ache? Like, are they lactose intolerant and this Aswang drank a bunch of milk?
A bunch of blood from other things.
A bunch of blood. I think, listen, for the sake of the story, let's just say they drank a bunch of milk. Now these things ate the milk. Now they're getting indigestion.
Again, it's not you.
Everything is me. I put myself into all these stories.
I know. Okay.
Suddenly, it's gassy and it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Or fine, we could say it cooked onions, whatever you want it to be.
Fine, it's me now.
That's the thing that you don't like. So it's just onions. A stomach filled with milk and cooked onions. So
again, I need to remind everybody, if you've made it this far, please go listen to other episodes first. Okay, we're at our best right now, but also at our worst.
I'm just trying to make this a little bit more interesting, right?
It's not interesting.
It's not. No. I'm saying trying to even the playing field.
I'm getting really activated. Okay, even the so we got a raven and a wolf.
Yeah. So I think the
and
legs,
a pair of legs.
The legs. I think the legs come up. They do a kick.
Okay.
And then they run back, and then as they run back, and then the wolf and the raven are trying to go attack. That's when another person comes in and gives them some sort of train fact of some sort that they don't know, like an innocent bystander.
Should we add? Okay, hold on. Should we add? Give me a second. We're getting caught in the loop, so I'm going to add an instance.
Okay.
And it is going to be. They're going to be First Amendment audited.
This is from
some
when Maraud
civilian just filming them on their phone and trying to provoke them.
I think they're just going to be yelling train facts at them.
Fine. All right. There it is. They're getting First Amendment audited in the 1800s. With iPhones. Okay, but still, when it comes down to it, there's two of them. They may be full.
I think the lower half of the legs win. I think the bottom half of the Aswang wins because it can kick the shit out of anything. It's a straight up demon, dude.
I know it's a demon. Okay,
it's a demon, and and the raven and the wolf all have indigestion from drinking milk and also from eating cooked onions.
You added the milk. Aswangs don't eat milk.
To drink?
Hold on. What do Aswangs eat?
What else? I mean, they eat blood, but I think they're taking the form of a person specifically.
Because the legs can take a different shape. They're shapeshifter. Oh,
yeah.
Shoot.
I'm going to give it to the lower half of the Aswang. Also, I like the idea of them just wearing...
Their diet consists of human corpses.
But those corpses could also have had a bunch of milk and cooked... I'm not letting go of this. I'm locked in.
Loves milk.
Milk and cooked onions. I just like the idea of a corpse that had
two
milk.
Things that'll destroy us particularly. Milk and cooked... Okay,
what else is the point of having your own podcast if you can't incorporate your own indigestions into every episode?
Fine. Okay, they have gallbladder issues too. How about that? Also, can't poop on vacation. How about that?
Oh, that's a big one.
They're on vacation.
Oh no!
So I don't think the train is
getting train sick. Do you get train sick?
No.
Okay, that's surprising because I know you get car sick and you get boat sick and seasick. You get all kinds of sick, but trains for some reason you don't.
Trains are. I'm a train.
Yeah, I'm a chicka train. I'm a chicka train. Chicka train. Chicka train. Yeah. Din, 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 din. Everyone loves this. Please continue listening to the show.
So okay, fine. It's a demon. It can eat human corpses. And there's a bunch of humans videotaping it. And I think the Aswang is going to destroy them and eat them and become stronger. And it's just the legs.
Yep.
But it's the consciousness in the legs.
The consciousness can be split between the two of them is the point.
Oh, because it can split. Okay.
Yeah. Because the bottom half's still doing its own thing.
All right. Let me add legs to this. Aswang legs. Fine.
Just the lower half. But it's But here's the thing. It's going to be like when they cut the head off like a cockroach.
Yeah.
Where it lives for 30 days. And the only reason that it dies eventually is because it can't feed.
Oh, so this can't feed.
Yeah,
the legs
that's
can't
the whole point. So the legs are still strong, but eventually it will run out of energy because there's no food for it to eat. There's no dead bodies. So we're giving it a little bit of a handicap.
In a weird twist, the raven and wolf are gone, and we now have the Aswang, lower half of an Aswang. All right. So next one. You ready?
Yep.
A group of lesbian army corps.
Oh, what was it called?
The WAC.
WAC
soldiers, which was the women's
auxiliary cable army.
Again, you latched onto that women's army corps, and there's let's say there's 3 of them.
Okay.
And they're lesbians, and they're pretty hardcore
during World War II.
During World War II,
yeah.
Versus a flaming salamander covered in asbestos.
Oh, flaming salamander covered in asbestos.
Yeah. So, I gotta figure out where they're fighting. Okay.
Oh, right.
And they are fighting. They're fighting on the Pepsi fleet.
On the fleet.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I think the salamander loses immediately because these are army women who already know how to army had a half day, mother, because they already know how to do. I don't know why I
learned this at army.
Yeah, learned this in army. They're literally army women in a boat, Michael.
In boat, Michael. They could just stomp army, Michael.
The only thing I could see is that if the flaming salamander went inside one of the giant cannons or something and accidentally exploded everything, and then they blew up the boat because it wasn't meant to get ignited, and there's
these chicks could easily destroy this thing. What is it going to do? Burn their foot?
Burn their foot?
Stomp it. You're going to stomp it. Stomp the salamander.
No. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. It's not going to hit them directly. It's going to go in and blow up the thing before they get a chance to shoot it out. You see what I'm saying?
When are we shooting this thing? Why are we shooting this thing?
No. I'm saying if you're on an aircraft, not aircraft carrier, or a ship.
A decommissioned Russian submarine.
Exactly. Or the ship. Right. And then there's torpedoes and stuff that are going to go out. If you light the actual torpedo or the missile before it gets shot out, then it blows up the contraption that you're in.
So they're going to stick that in there. They're going to put
the salamander can suicide itself. It can suicide itself by going into that and taking out everybody altogether, and then it's a draw.
Oh,
because it's on fire, right?
It's on fire.
Yeah, it's on fire, which means it could get in there and it could do it. I'm not saying that necessarily needs to happen. I'm just saying that's a possibility for it.
Okay, let's see. Would that happen quicker than 3 lesbians could destroy a salamander? 3 army
ships are pretty big and salamanders are pretty small. I think it would be really hard to track that thing down.
Because look, one of those ladies can just pick up the salamander and throw it into the ocean.
It's true. As soon as it's in the ocean, it's done.
And she sacrifices her hand, and that's
She's
fine.
Like, I don't give a shit. Just.
I think this is an open and shut case.
Listen, who do you want to win? Do you want a salamander that's on fire to win, or do you want 3 lesbians from
It's about what's realistic.
What's realistic? Yeah,
I think
with the flaming salamander in the bottom half of an Aswang who just beat the top half.
I do think that
I kind of feel like it's a draw. Can you put another thing in? Like
should we do a little thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
you know what I'm saying? The technical term of the thing.
Okay. They're forced to jump through flames by King Kavus.
Forced to. This has no effect on the salamander because it's already on fire.
So they're now on. They're both on fire now.
Oh, now the lesbian. Why do I keep forgetting the name?
Whack. Whack soldiers are now.
The whack soldiers are now also on fire. No, they're not on fire.
Why?
Because they're pure of heart. That was the whole point of the story. Remember, is that when they jump through the fire and it's like, oh, if you're lying, then you'll catch fire and you'll die, but then they don't.
So that absolutely has nothing.
No, that's amazing though that the thing that you pulled immediately makes the story completely neutral still and nothing has changed.
Should I do a different one?
Maybe.
All right. This is they start getting harassed by crows. Followed and harassed.
I think the crow naturally goes for the salamander.
Immediately, yeah.
And just takes a bite of it and it's burning and it's really annoyed, so it just drops it in the water.
Crows.
Oh yeah, I think they just rip it apart and throw it in the water. Okay, whack wins.
Yeah, whack. Whack.
Whack.
All right, next one.
Yeah, I feel like we're like blasting through these.
The next one is the auditor.
The otter?
The auditor, the dog that lived forever.
Yes, the big shaggy dog.
The irradiated, chemical-laden dog.
Who probably would have loved your lead microphone more than anything.
More than you. Versus Tipu Sultan.
Tipu Sultan, okay.
Tipu Sultan.
The biggest hater of all time.
Yeah, vengeful.
Haterade.
He has vengeance, and he also has rocket launchers.
Oh, he's got rocket launchers?
He's got rocket launchers, and...
He's got a big army. He's a good soldier.
And vengeful heart.
Vengeful heart.
And then versus a beautiful dog that lived longer than it should have. I just think that he might launch a rocket at this dog.
I think, here's the thing. First of all, he's a tiger boy, okay?
So, does he have a pet tiger?
I mean, I don't remember, to be honest. Okay. I'm assuming he's got pet tigers somewhere.
I don't know.
He must have. Let's just say for the sake of this, he's got tigers that he's commissioned for this war. Number one, not a fan of dogs if you're a fan of tigers, I assume.
No.
I mean, he's already branded everything with tiger, anyway. So
he sees a dog that can barely...
He's just going to be like, first of all, you're not a cat.
Because the thing with the auditor is that, yes, he's like indestructible, but only from chemicals.
Wait, sorry, did we say a location?
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. It's
I'm going to be, hold on. The Richardson Spite House.
Which one was the Richardson
The
one?
hallway. So it's going to be Tipu Sultan and the dog in the hallway house.
There's nowhere for anyone to go.
No, you'd have to, it's like, yeah.
Oh, that's awful. Okay, this is the one that's in New York, right?
Yes. It's literally a hallway.
I think we need to decide if Tipu's going to come with tigers or not.
I think he's going to, no, I don't think he's going to come with tigers because I think he has rocket launchers.
Okay, here's a better question.
Okay.
Do you think I don't actually know the answer to this.
Me neither.
What do you think a dog would do if it saw a tiger in the wild?
I think it would probably like hold its ground. I don't think it would attack, but I think it would get on the defense and bark
You think
a
it
bunch.
would just be a bark a bunch?
Bark
okay.
a bunch,
Also,
yeah.
the auditor, if I remember correctly, kind of lazy though, right?
We don't really know that he wouldn't come near because he was kind of vicious.
Okay, so he was vicious.
He was
then.
stray. He was aggressive. Yeah. So
he's filled with nuclear power.
And remember, he's filled with an insane amount of chemicals.
Yeah, nuclear chemicals.
Well, not even nuclear, just everything, poison. And he can survive.
Lead,
he's
filled with your microphone.
I'm the auditor. He survives winters, like negative 10-degree winters. He's like indestructible.
And is the here? Look here, remember?
Oh yeah, whatever.
Is the house is in New York? Is that right?
Yes, it's in 1880s New York.
1880s New York. for the sake of making it fun, it should be the winter time, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I don't know how cold it gets in the
Freezing.
winters in India, in certain parts of wherever Tipu Tiger would have
in
been
the more
from.
mountainous regions, probably.
But from what I understand, it's like
Let's look. Was it Mayapur, India? Hold on.
I don't remember. I'm
It's
like, how
Mayapur.
uncomfortable do you think he'd be in like the super cold winter?
Oh, it gets not very cold.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
thinking.
a tropical climate, so he does not.
Yeah, so he's going to be very uncomfortable.
Even in
the
New
cold.
York summer, he's not going to like it. Okay,
It's too cold for him.
It's like ooh.
Let's just say it's winter and it's snowing.
Okay.
There's no
and
fires
inside
anywhere.
a freezing hallway house.
Inside a freezing hallway house.
Is this good podcasting?
No, I don't think from day one our show ever has been.
You're mean. Just
Only
kidding.
to us.
I know that's why it's fun. Okay, I freaked out for a minute.
Okay.
So they're in the hallway. So they're on one end. Remember, there's like a dining table.
Yes.
It's furnished.
Oh, it is
It's
furnished.
completely furnished.
Okay.
So the dog can like. I just think he's winning. I think the Sultan is winning.
You think the Sultan is winning
Yeah.
because he has
He
rockets?
has rocket launchers.
He
He can
But if
shoot
it's so
the dog.
cold, he's doing the thing where it's like in movies with the match where you're trying to light it, but it's like too cold, so he can't
like
do it.
Mulan. Yeah. No. Here's the thing. He would
Yeah.
though.
He would light it.
Yes, I think he would
Okay.
light it. I think he'd have no trouble. Just sorry, everybody, rocket launching that dog straight to its death.
But does it die, or does it have so many chemicals in it that it just bounces back at him?
It dies. Oh, that's a good question.
Because I think that's part of what it is.
Okay, so he launches a rocket at this dog.
Yes, and the dog is filled with so many chemicals and nuclear
That
whatever.
it just doesn't affect it.
Also, that thing was like a sheep.
That's
with the
true.
hair.
It has like a shield of hair.
Yeah, I think that shield of hair is doing something
And
in
an
terms of.
1800s rocket.
That's what I'm saying. The
launcher.
rockets are not like, we're
Oh.
not talking about like modern missiles right now. We're talking
Okay.
about like 1800s kind of like, even bullets back then weren't as crazy as they are now.
Okay, so he takes one hit. It doesn't really affect the
It
dog.
deflects. Either he absorbs it and it gives him more power.
I think he's absorbing it. I think this dog is otherworldly.
Yeah.
I think he's absorbing it. And then what does he do after that? The dog starts advancing.
No, I think the dog's indifferent to it. He's just like, this is really annoying. And then he
Lay
turns
down and
around.
go to sleep.
He takes a nap in the middle of it.
Uh,
And this infuriates
Does it? Okay.
the Sultan.
Yeah. Doesn't
I
he
think
need to take another shot?
Yeah, then it's like 18. It's like, back when they
You
had
have to
guns,
take
they have to take it to like put the thing in and then load in the bullets and all that. So it takes them like a good, I don't know, let's say 40 minutes to create like another rocket.
And the dog is sleeping?
And the dog is sleeping this whole time, but what he's doing is he's recharging. He's getting his energy up because the one hit.
I always forget that you take this and you like
Go too specific.
just insane, like run completely one way. That's fine. Okay. Everything's on the table. We're good.
He's resting. He wakes up from his nap.
Okay.
He's grouchy. He's hungry. Thankfully, there's a kitchen behind him.
Again, not you, but we'll go with it.
Yes. This is all dogs. All dogs wake up and they're like, oh, I'm hungry. Aren't all animals hungry when they first wake
I
up?
have no idea.
I assume they all are. But
Okay.
yes, just
So
because
it's
it's an overlap
hungry.
with me.
Okay,
It's
okay,
hungry.
okay.
What does it eat? Is there a slice of New York? No, there's no pizza. There's no New York pizza to the way
It's
that we know it.
1880s.
1880s.
So they probably go to like a bread
There's no
bin
shawarma.
box
There's
and eat.
nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Probably eat some like meat.
Barely. Oh,
From
it's
the
like
ice
cows.
box.
Yeah, from the cows that are just running around.
That's right. The New York cow.
The New York
tunnels.
cows, yeah. So there's actually, honestly,
They're
there's
not leaving the house though.
There's a lot. Okay. So but that house is probably falling apart. I think he
Absolutely.
can just stick his head out and then just grab
Also,
a
the
cow
rocket
that's
launcher.
walking by. Yeah, it's cooking meat.
Okay. I still think at the end of the day,
Yeah.
a human being with one rocket launcher, even if it's 1800s, will kill a 17-year-old dog.
Listen, that's why you have no imagination.
I'm adding a little thing, okay? John Orr commits arson.
Oh!
So he comes in and starts burning this place down.
But then pretending like he's not. He's
yeah,
also an
he's
audit.
just like, oh, hey, hey, what's
He's
up?
a First Amendment auditor,
He's,
too.
he's in there. He's lit the Richardson Spite House on fire.
Okay, so then the house burns down, but they're still in
They're
it.
still...
So now suddenly they're open, but it's New York, and there's
Yeah.
just a bunch of cows and like people dying in traffic and getting hit by trains all around them. I think the auditor runs away
Absolutely.
because he's like, there's too
Does it
many.
turn into a hunt?
Yeah, no, I think he's just like, there's too much stuff happening. I hate all this. I don't want to deal with all this.
Okay, should I drop
Also,
in? Should I drop in another competitor?
Cows are getting killed. I assume that on some level, Tipu Sultan's going to be upset by that.
Oh, you're right. He's not going to like that
He's
at
not
all.
going to be happy about it.
Yeah, I think the auditor would 100% run away.
Yeah. I think it's like a technicality, not draw, but
Okay.
I think Sultan wins, not because he had superior fire, just by consequence.
Okay.
The auditor
Are you sure
lives...
we don't want to bring in another person to defeat?
No, because here's the thing. The auditor can go back. And he can come back another day. He just runs away. He doesn't get killed, just like the auditor in real life.
You're right.
Yeah.
So who wins?
Tipu wins just because the auditor forfeited.
For this one battle.
Yeah, because the auditor forfeited by running away. Because he was annoyed, because it was too loud.
Are you sure you don't want me to bring the French helicopter couple in?
No, save it for the next.
There's no more.
One.
We're done.
We're done?
Yeah.
Oh, is that, did we do enough rounds?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then now we have to have them fight off.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So Tipu Sultan wins. And we are now on to the next round, which is
round 2.
Rube Waddell versus just the legs of an Aswang. Okay. And they will be
kind of like this, honestly.
They'll be dueling at a Soviet pool party. Dickie Nixie's Soviet pool party.
Dickie Nixie's Soviet pool party.
Which means it's just in the ocean with that tiny half boat. Which
is perfect because we're only dealing with half an Aswang.
What do Aswangs do in water?
They just kick. There's a kick. It's the bottom half.
Forever. Okay, so Rube Waddell is he on the boat? So wait, hang on. The boat has Nixon and Khrushchev on it.
Well, Nixon's dead at this point because Rube Waddell killed him.
You're right. I'm
sorry. Is his body in there, like dressed in the Pepsi cosplay? I think it should be.
I gotta brush my hair.
Yeah, but important. You gotta brush your hair. Here's the thing. I think that you keep Nixon in there, who's dead.
Okay.
And the Aswang, the bottom half of the Aswang gets confused because it's starting to run out of energy.
Because it's just paddling.
Right, but no. Also, it's like it doesn't have the top half anymore, so it needs to eat. So it's trying to figure out a way to eat the Nixon's corpse through the butt exit. But it's not able to ingest anything. So it's just hitting its head against the wall, and trying to figure it out.
Rube can keep that thing from climbing on top of that half boat that they're on.
No, because the dead body's on the boat. For some reason, Khrushchev demanded that Nixon's corpse comes with it.
Yeah, of course. They're lovers.
Yeah. So I think he's doing that. And then Rube starts to get annoyed because there's too many noises that are happening at once. And this thing keeps hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting.
Yeah, he goes nuts.
He's absolutely...
He could immediately wrestle that thing down.
I don't even think he does that. You know what I think
Drowns
he does?
it.
No, I think he jumps out of the boat because he's angry. And then he uses his strength to flip the boat over.
Yeah. And then it drowns?
Yeah, I think so. But it doesn't drown because it doesn't breathe oxygen.
I have to look this up.
It's just a crotch and legs.
Can you drown an Aswang? The last 4 Google searches have been Aswang related.
Listen, we didn't learn enough about Aswang. We need to make sure this is
holy water kills it.
Okay. So he's going to need to figure out a way to bless the water.
Can anyone in the Russian Orthodox Church, can anyone bless water?
Here's the thing.
What?
I would not put it past Rube in all of his various careers to have somehow, at some point, become a priest of some sort.
Wait. This might throw everything into...
What is it?
If you decapitate an Aswang, it dies.
It didn't get decapitated. It got eaten because it separated its torso, and then they just ate all of its guts. So I guess technically, the top half of the Aswang is still alive somewhere. It just has no more guts.
Oh no!
So now we got like another crazy. We got a B. We got a B plot.
So where's the
B plot? Is like it wakes up from the train eventually, and it starts.
It's still on the train.
It's still because they just left it for dead.
Wait, the raven just poops it out, right?
The guts? Did the raven eat the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so it consumed.
So we have to wait for the raven to digest.
Bro, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
I don't either.
I've completely forgotten what we were talking about.
The raven poops it out, and now.
So the top half is still alive. It needs to be reunited with the bottom half.
I don't even remember what we said 10 minutes ago.
It needs to be reunited with its bottom half, and Rube Waddell needs to destroy it. No. I'm going to go with Rube at some point was a priest. There's no way we can't prove that.
I just think that's insane. Hold on.
It's Rube Waddell. What do you think?
Why am I the level-headed one in this?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I don't know.
I think Rube Waddell...
If you sprinkle salt on it, it dies. Salt water.
It's okay, so it just flips it over and puts it in the salt water and then it dissolves
and then it's dead. The same, yeah. But Rube Waddell.
I think he needs to flip the boat over just because.
Because, yeah. Well, also, he wants to bury Nixon at sea because he's not a monster.
But also, for me, you don't have to agree on this and sign off. I would like to think that Rube Waddell, at some point in one of his periods of taking time off from playing baseball, became a priest or a holy man of some sort by accident because people loved him. So he's able to bless the water. And then now all of a sudden, the entire ocean that they're in or the lake that they're in is holy
water and salt water.
Nixon's body also burns because it gets destroyed by holy water because it's something unholy.
He's the devil. He gets welcomed into hell in a spectacular fashion.
Exactly. That's what I would say.
Okay. I think that's good. I think
so Rube wins.
Rube wins. If Rube Waddell wins, you know what? If he wins all of this, I would not be surprised.
I'm not going to be surprised either.
All right. Rube goes on. Okay.
I think I was just Aswang legs. It's the piece of paper that you wrote it on.
All right. The next one is
it's a good band name, by the way.
3 WAC soldiers, the Women's Army Corps soldiers versus Tipu Sultan.
Oh, see, that's a pretty good.
It's Army versus Army.
That's Army versus Army. Okay.
Here's the thing. These women have been trained not to fight.
Where are they fighting?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry.
Abdicated your responsibility.
They're fighting on the set of Supermarket Sweep. And they have a studio audience.
Is the host there? What was it?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know.
The guy with the sweaters.
Yeah, sweater guy. There is a
Sweater guy.
it is a live filmed.
Is it an episode of Supermarket Sweep that's happening?
Yes.
So do they have to compete in Supermarket Sweep while they're fighting it? Okay, here's the thing.
Yes.
Is it they have to compete in Supermarket Sweep and whoever wins kills the other person? So it's not a matter of them fighting. It's a matter of how well can they play Supermarket Sweep.
Well, there's 3 versus 1. There's that. 3.
Tipu Sultan's got 2 tigers. Let's just say that's part of his team.
Okay, fine.
They're all wearing the sweaters, the colored sweaters with like the name tag on them for whatever team that they're in.
And does he have like a meltdown because he's been thrust into the future?
Yeah, I think he's a little bit confused and he's not used to the fact, although he's a king, don't forget.
Yeah, true.
He's probably not that crazy for him to be like, I'm just going to go into this room. There's all this food that's already here. And everything I want comes to me. I think for him, it's going to be a little bit of like, how much does a banana cost? Like $10 kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately the tigers are going to be the bigger concern more than him.
So there's tigers loose in Supermarket Sweep.
They're not loose. They're on the team.
They're loose.
They're on Tipu's team.
All right. So they only listen. Okay, hang on. Does he only listen to Tipu, the tiger?
Yeah, I think so.
Him?
Yeah. Okay. And I think, first of all, the first part of it is always like some quiz part, right?
I don't know.
It's like, well, they ask them about brands or whatever. Both teams are losing. They're getting 0 points because they have no reference point for what any of the brands are that anyone's talking about. Both WAC and Tipu Sultan win. So they go in. So they're just like, whatever, forget this. We're just going to go straight to the part where you have to go throw stuff into the shopping cart and get as many turkeys and stuff as possible.
Right. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
There's 3 1940s women.
Yeah.
Who have been, told from the time they were little that shopping is what they have to do.
Oh, okay. They're trained.
They're like, oh yeah, we've been told to shop at grocery stores. It sounds sexist, but it wasn't.
No, but I'm saying, but are they taught to shop at grocery stores, and spend the most amount of money possible, or to be
frugal?
Exactly, which is contradictory to the point of that game.
Okay, but they're top physical.
No. I got.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go. No.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say they're top physical. They're physically fit, the top of their game. I just wanted to put that out there.
No, here's where I think they lose.
They lose?
They lose this section, not all of it.
Okay.
This section I think they lose because you're dealing with, he's a king. You're dealing with a king versus 3 presumably working class lesbians in the 1940s who are trying to be frugal because that's how they were raised. I think the king is going to be like, I'm going for the caviar first. I'm not trying to get these giant turkeys to toss into like my shopping cart.
Okay.
He's going to know where all the most expensive shit is.
Someone else does that for him though. He's never had to do this in his life. Someone brings him his food.
He's thrilled. This is like Aladdin. He's so, or like Princess Jasmine. He's just really excited. He's like, oh, I get to be out into like the actual grocery store. This is all novel to him. He gets really, and he gets to walk his tigers into the grocery store.
But does he have
look around.
Any idea how much things cost?
No, but I think he would instinctually know what's the most expensive thing. He's going to look for He's not going to go look for eggs. He's going to look for like turmeric, which basically like where we're from.
Go to war over that.
Exactly. Like spices and that kind of shit, like turmeric or whatever kind of stuff that they were trading at that point.
Do you think he'd be what am I trying to say? He gets to the spice aisle and gets so angry at the British that he flips out?
No, here's the thing. And this is what happens to me is when you get to the spice aisle of the regular white people grocery stores, the stuff that's cheap and like borderline disposable in the international markets because we all use it for everything. Then you go to the white people grocery stores
like
and
saffron.
It's like
$12.
Well, saffron's always expensive, but like something like turmeric would be like $30 at like Ralph's or something. But when you go to like the John's grocery store, it's like 20 cents.
Nice.
It's like the upsell.
That's crazy. That
it is crazy.
Like white people are still like, this is. I mean,
it's
I
like
guess
mint.
They did
getting mint. Mint is like so expensive at the regular grocery store. And you go and get it. It's like 20 cents.
It's so funny because it's like I wonder if it's part of it is like we killed so many people for this that it might be worth more money.
Listen, I just think that's what happens. I think he goes to the area by accident. It ends up being the most expensive stuff because he's looking for the stuff that he knows. So the stuff that's normal to him is like exotic to like the Western grocery store public. Assuming they even have that and they had the foresight to put all this into this Supermarket Sweep episode.
Okay, but let me argue for the lesbians because
3
hyper fit, top of their game, 1940s lesbians with the spirit of anti-Hitler in them.
Yes.
There's that is amazing. They can do anything. Remember?
Yeah.
Whatever his name was like, they're my best soldiers. They're on time. They're good at everything. They're strong. They're organized. They can easily figure out a way to be like, okay, you go here, you go here, you go here. Like, they're part of an army. They're part of like a group.
I agree.
Okay, but you think that one guy with 2 tigers that's from the 1800s would win against three?
I think a rich king... No, again, let me back up here. I think you've forgotten. There's 3 parts to Supermarket Sweep.
I have.
First is the questions. Then there's the part where they got to get a bunch of stuff.
They both fail the questions.
Yeah, they both fail the questions. The second part of it is like, how much can you gather that like gets you the most amount of money? And then the third part is where they have to do the problems. Like they go find the thing.
Right.
So in the second part, I think Tipu wins. Because I think he's rich. Yeah. He's a king. He's a foreign king, so automatically all of his tastes are going to be the most expensive thing in the grocery store.
That's true.
That's my point.
Like British kings are like, I just like pepper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On my meat.
Right.
All right.
I think he's going to, like I said, he's going to be like, ooh, turmeric or something, and that's going to be the most expensive thing in the grocery store.
Those are very like normal to him. Okay.
Yes, I think that's just a culture clash.
I guess the tigers would absolutely destroy those women.
I mean, they might be eating the giant turkeys that the women are trying to grab, unfortunately. And then that would complicate it, and that would slow them down as they're trying to like fill up the shopping cart to get as much stuff as they can. I think Tipu wins that round. Then we go to the third round.
Okay, what's the third round?
The third round is like the not questionnaire. It's like the one clue that leads you to one thing, right? And then you go look, and then the third thing, and then at the end is when they have the $5,000.
3 brains are better than 1.
In that case,
they win.
I think they would have the advantage.
I think so.
Number 1, Tipu may or may not even read English. We don't even know.
Oh, I think he would because he hates the English so much. He probably learned everything about them.
Yeah, that's true. So let's just assume that he reads English at this point.
Okay.
He's going to have no context for this.
None
whatsoever. Whereas even though the lesbians are from like
the 40s.
50 years before, 40 years before, 50 years
they
before. They
understand there's TV
there's
and game
some
shows.
Context of it.
There were some sort of quiz show, game show kind of thing at the time.
So they would be like, okay, I can kind of, and also these are their brands. So
right.
I mean, not those brands exactly, but like they'll have a reference point for it. Whereas Tipu probably has never even heard of a grocery store. Yeah. He's never heard of fluorescent lighting.
Right.
He's never heard of
that alone would like
shopping carts.
Spiral.
Yeah.
I don't
understand what any of this is.
Why are these candles bright blue?
I know I just contradicted everything I said in the last round, but in this instance, when they start giving him something to solve, he's going to be like, why am I solving this? He's a king. I don't have time for this. I need to have my...
That's when he just lets his tigers do his dirty work.
Yeah, or he's like, I need my vizier to come in and take care of this because he's the person that I hire for. I need my strongest military advisor. But like you said, the lesbians, they were civilians first. They're just regular people who had to do this kind of crap. And then they went into the army and kicked ass. Yeah. So now they're like a double threat. So they know how to be the normie, non-army people as well as the army people. And thankfully for them, army only had a half day today, mother.
I won it at army.
I won at army. But here's the real question.
Okay.
How did they defeat the tigers? Because I can see a scenario in which Tipu loses, he gets belligerent, and he doesn't want to forfeit the win. 100%. And then he sinks his tigers.
Especially because they all look like British people.
Exactly. Right. He's triggered. He's just like, I don't care.
White ladies being
he can't tell the difference between Americans and Brits.
He can't tell. No. Even if there's just one British appearing person there, he's going to lose it.
He's going to lose it. He's going to be like, you kidnapped my children. I will kill you.
Yeah, by force alone, he wins immediately. Those tigers, he
gets more angry than the tigers.
He would, again, rocket launchers.
That's true.
Should I bring in like an instance?
No, I think we're good. I think we're good.
I think he wins.
Interesting.
I think he wins because at the end of the day, I think the vengeance against the British is more powerful than 3 lesbians.
Here's the other thing, though. I'll say, lesbians, they would know how to thwart and like divert rocket launches at them as well. Don't forget their literal military training. I think this war goes on for a long time.
We got to add something.
No, I think we got to game this out.
Okay. So
who gets tired or gets distracted first is the real question between the lesbians and between Tipu Sultan. So one of them's got to break. What's the thing that causes them to get distracted? I'm just doing the screenwriting thing. I'm like,
this is good.
No, don't give them an external thing. Make sure that the character is driving the story.
They're both human. That's the thing. There's 2 tigers, but once tigers eat and are full, they don't attack.
Okay.
They only attack when they're hungry.
Okay, so the lesbians throw the turkeys at the tigers.
Throw the turkeys.
They're gone.
Tigers are good.
Tigers are good.
No more tigers.
So now it's just Tipu and his rockets.
Is like, he has rockets and a deep well of hatred for the British.
Right.
And then there's these 3 ladies.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they got a deep well of rage, not against specifically the Indian king, but like.
Remember the first Kumitab? We had a 50s housewife who was so angry at being treated terribly that she won a bunch of rounds. So
the lobotomized housewife.
The lobotomized housewife. So these women have just been given the chance to be awesome, and they're not going to let it go.
It's a lot of rage between the two of them.
A lot of rage.
Who's right? I think everyone's right in this case about what they're mad about.
Oh, yeah. The British. Just kidding. White men. Would they both kill the host? They'll be like, this guy's the representative of all of our issues.
The white man that runs this with his quirky
Remember, there's
sweaters.
an audience. There's a studio
right. The audience is cheering. Oh, you're right. That's a good point.
So it's going to become a popularity thing where it's like, who are they going to side with?
Oh, I think in that case, they're going to side with the lesbians. Yeah, I was going to say.
They're not
the white lesbian ladies, they're not going to cheer for this brown man coming in with his
rocket launcher.
With a rocket. They're going to think he's Al-Qaeda. Yes. Oh, they're going to be like, that guy did 9/11. We're not cheering for you. Unfortunately. I don't make up the rules. It's just, that's the world we live in.
Do you think the audience would everybody attack him?
I think they would side with the lesbians, and I think that they would all call the police. And then the police would come in and probably kill him. Oh, that got sad.
That's really sad.
That was sad.
Can we bring in an external thing?
No, I think we gotta go. Also, we don't have that many external things left.
We have 2.
Yeah, we gotta save it. I'm really sad to say Sultan dies because of police brutality and racism.
Because at the end of the day, police brutality wins, I guess. That is a bummer. That's a massive bummer. I don't like that, but that's how it ends. I don't like it either. All right, the 3 lesbians
Tell me where I'm wrong.
You're not.
Okay.
I think racism beats homophobia.
Sad.
Yeah, so now we have... now we have Rube...
This just took the darkest turn.
I don't like it. Now we have Rube Waddell.
We did this to ourselves.
The ending. This is where it ends. This is the final.
No.
We have Rube Waddell.
No.
What if we... Hang on.
No, we have to do it. It's like last time.
Okay, we have Rube Waddell versus 3 lesbian Army Corps members.
This is deeply upsetting.
I know.
I don't want them to fight.
They have to.
I want them to all be friends.
They would be, but they're forced
Rube
to fight.
Waddell would not care.
Okay,
Rube Waddell would be like, you guys are lesbians in the army? That's awesome. Can I join you?
Okay, you ready for where they're fighting?
Yeah,
This might change the whole tide of things. They are fighting in Universe 25, the cage where all the rat mice were kept. 4 feet by 4 feet. No, 5 feet by 5 feet.
4 people are in that little... Are they shrunk down?
Nope.
Immediately stomped to death all those mice.
Should we make them mouse sized?
I think they have to be mouse sized, yeah.
So we're shrinking them?
I don't see how else it works. I like the idea of them being shrunk down, but it's also, I don't know if this.
How about this? They're not shrunk down, but it's a version of the Universe 25,
or is the universe large, but then there's the same amount of like 2,000 mice running around there. Yes, there's 2,000 mice in there. Okay. Are you gonna be okay?
No,
I'm just trying to wrap my head around how big this is.
Let's go over this again. So let's just say they fit in it.
They fit inside.
Yes, it's big enough. No. They're all in a tiny little box.
Okay.
They're in there.
Meaning they're shrunk down, or they're just
They're in there.
Okay. Immediately they crush 1,500 mice to death.
Of course.
Okay, so let's start that way. You're right.
So
okay.
They're in there. They kill a bunch of mice. Who cares?
I think Rube cares. I think he gets sad first. I think the lesbians are also sad, but I think Rube gets very upset that they accidentally killed 1,500 mice. Because I feel like Rube... I think this is devastating to him.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
I don't disagree. But what would he do afterward?
I think Rube Waddell is emotionally devastated first.
What would he do about that? Would he get his bat out and kill the lesbians? Should we stop calling them? I'm going to say kill the whack.
The whack soldiers. The lesbian group.
Would he just go nuts, or would he just like break?
No, I think first he's devastated. He's crying. He's emotional.
Dude, they'd feel so bad for him.
Yeah. And I think by the way, I think they're also going to feel bad about it.
Yeah.
But I think because Rube is like this giant, insane man, he's going to be so much more dramatic because, as we all know, men are actually way more dramatic than women. 100%. So he's going to make it a bigger deal about himself.
And they're just going to be like, dude, chill.
Yeah.
Mice die all the time.
Yeah.
They're just mice.
Or because women are forced to unfortunately put their feelings aside for the greater good of society.
Yeah. Every
time.
I
think that's going to be what plays out
from
first.
the very beginning.
Yes. Whether or not it's fair is besides the point in terms of this.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I think at this point, Rube has, as we like to say, big feelings.
Yeah.
And I think he gets very upset. So first of all...
He's weakened.
Yeah. Exactly. He's starting at a handicap
So he's just kind of like sitting there in this tiny little box. They're all in a box.
They're all in this tiny box.
And this is going to make it harder to hit anyone with a bat.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like face-to-face, hand-to-hand combat.
This might be the hardest, actually, of all of them, because you can't hide behind some sort of like drone or like computer or something. So I think, okay, so here's the question. What do you think the lesbians do when they see, aside from going into that sort of instinctual, like, I have to put my feelings aside because society won't let me express them because they weaponize it against me.
Yep.
Aside from that,
their training kicks in.
What do? Do they kick him while he's down?
No.
What do they do?
Honestly, I think they would be like, how do we... this is hard.
Yeah. Also,
this is really hard.
They have the rage of Hitler, but Rube Waddell's not Hitler.
No,
they're not there to kill Nazis.
He's like a little brother.
Right. These are not people who like want to go into war for the sake of killing people because they think killing people is awesome.
Yeah.
These are people who wanted to protect the country against like a Nazi threat.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden,
they're not killers. They're like air traffic controllers.
Right.
And
I feel like all these people come in and they're like, war is dumb. What are we doing? What is the point of any of this?
I can't see them doing anything besides being like, dude, are you okay?
Yeah. Maybe they put it off for a while. Someone needs to get angry here.
Yeah, I'll just start making out.
All right. Maybe it's time to... You were so eager to bring in another thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you do it.
Okay. Okay. This is going to ruin it.
Okay.
All right. They all get shot in the dick. In the crotch. From the Scotty's Castle episode where his brother gets shot in the dick.
Right.
So now they're all
bleeding out their groins.
Should I not do that one?
No, we have to. We have to commit.
This is the stupidest one.
We have to commit.
Okay. So they're all bleeding.
Again,
they would just... I think they'd all bleed out.
I think a man getting shot in the crotch, they're going to make a far bigger deal about it than anybody else will. And I think that Rube Waddell will be so hysterical and emotional and scream.
The baseball
I don't even think he's beating. I think he's just flailing around like this.
Okay.
Indiscriminately, like he becomes a tornado because he can't deal with anything.
Remember, he's also an alligator wrestler.
Right. This man is huge.
Massive.
Yeah.
He's going to... Dude, they're going to get trampled like the mice.
Yeah. I don't like the way he wins.
I don't like any of this. I don't like this. Why do we do this? I don't want a bunch of people to get shot in the dick. Why did I put that in there? Okay. Realistically, Rube Waddell, even though he's bleeding out of his crotch, is probably going to overpower all three of those army people.
She does have
they're all 19. They went to boot camp, but it's not like they're fighting.
But would they figure out a way to outsmart him somehow, even though he's like essentially a tornado spinning around and getting crazy? I feel like we need to give them a little bit more credit. We haven't really tapped into like what their skills may or may not have been, other than just being able to put their feelings aside because a man has become overly emotional and will weaponize against them. Go. What do you think?
If there were two more of me and we were in a tiny box with a man bleeding out of his crotch.
Yes.
I did write get shot in the dick. I didn't write get shot in the crotch. Does that mean that it's just him who gets shot in the dick?
I mean, technically, the story with Death Valley Scotty is he gets shot in the groin. And then I just kept saying getting shot in the dick because the dick is where the groin is. So if we're going to split hairs about it, I would say all three of them are technically getting shot in the groin, which can just be above.
Is this bad?
No, this is great. This is why we have tens of listeners. People are.
3. Here's the thing: women can take pain way better.
That's way very better. Much so. Yeah.
And we can. I'm like putting myself into this.
It's
the pain.
Listen, I'm not going to judge you for putting yourself in it. Go do it.
And also, believe women. Thank you for believing women.
Believe men.
Never will.
I've been shot in the groin.
So I think they're going to be like, Rube, sit down, chill. And then when he's down, they're going to just absolutely just wreck him.
Wreck him. How do they wreck him?
They choke him out.
Oh, interesting.
Because remember, they're also big softball players.
3 of them. Oh, that's true.
They're not. Here's the thing. They're butch. A lot of these women joined the army because they wanted a place to be butch.
Right.
Without
they didn't have to hide who they were.
Yeah, they could be like boyish and tomboyish and participate in sports.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're also softball players. He's a baseball player.
It's true. Equally matched as far as...
Do they have baseball bats too?
They can?
Yep. Softball bats. Okay, so I think 3 butch army lesbians... who are beating an
ADHD baseball player
who can't
in his head while his dick is bleeding
on top of a graveyard of dead mice. They win.
That's the most beautiful image I could think of.
I think they win.
And I think we're gonna have to just say that that's the one that wins.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
The Wax Soldiers won.
The Wax Soldiers won!
Woo!
Congratulations.
That was probably the most insane one.
I think everyone gets more insane than the last.
I don't remember what happened last. Cordion won.
And then before that...
Michelin Man.
Oh, God. Are we going to do something where
yes.
Okay, at the end?
Yes, all 4 of them at the end of the year. Absolutely.
At the end of the year? Oh.
Yep.
We'll have Michelin Man.
And then whoever wins the fourth one, they're all going to go up against each other.
the whack lesbians, and the TBD.
Yeah.
Whoever the fourth person is going to be, or fourth group in this case. There's 3 people that are in this one.
Did one of them die from bleeding out? Actually, it doesn't matter. So yeah, honestly, that makes sense. A bunch of 1940s closeted, what is it, with the spirit of like anti-Hitler in them?
Yeah.
That would absolutely destroy an ADHD baseball boy.
Yeah, ADHD, bisexual, Boeing sexual baseball boy. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think we're going to sign off on
our
that.
KUMITA3. KUMITA3
winner
is 3 whack soldiers.
Whack soldiers, congratulations.
High five.
We made it through. Were you going to high five the screen?
Nope.
You were about to slap the top of my laptop.
Tap at the laptop.
Tap at the laptop, Taya.
Do we have anything else to talk about, or can we just riff for a minute, or what? I don't know.
I forget. I don't remember.
We usually just
listener emails. Do we not do listener emails?
We don't do listener
emails.
I don't think we do listener emails.
I thought we did, but maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe we did and we just didn't remember. And then it came to this episode. We decided not to do it anyway because you know what? Nothing matters. Nothing matters. It's been chaotic in the world.
There might not be in LA next week.
This is incredible that we ever actually put this episode together considering all the things that have been going on. So
thanks for participating. I mean, you always do, but thank you for
doing all the work and putting it together. And
it's fun.
I don't just match the energy. I make it deeply upsetting with my screenwriting
You grab
presence.
me. Like, it's the thing. I feel like I'm held hostage in my own game. Like I've created a game and now I can't get out of it.
It's true. Speaking of games, last night we sat.
Wait, what?
We sat and did.
We alienated your wife.
Because you were like, oh, I love trivia questions. I'm going to ask you trivia questions.
And you were
about
like,
film.
I also love trivia. You guys, 2 hours of me. I think it was 300 trivia questions about movies.
I probably got a lot of them too.
I'd probably say 2/3 of them.
Yeah.
And
there were ones that I was cutting you off before you even finished asking the question.
It was unbelievable. And then I was like, do one for me. I'm really good at like European history. And he was like, absolutely not.
I was bored.
Like, wow, this is a one-sided friendship.
I looked him up and I'm like, oh, who was president?
He couldn't do it.
Of the United States.
But, I put my feelings aside for the greater good. Just like I've been trying to do since birth. And his wife, Sarah, was like, I'm out of here, guys.
She was like, cool story, guys. I'm going to go downstairs and watch anything else.
Yeah. And then we just kept doing it.
It was amazing.
And then we put Rambo on, dude.
It was very fun.
Rambo. I'd never seen Rambo.
Rambo First Blood, of course. In that one, he basically gets hassled by a bunch of cops and then he runs into the woods and starts killing all of them.
Killing cops, yeah.
Which Hannah was like, what? I didn't know that. First Rambo, great movie.
Yeah.
Love it. I did not expect you to get as emotionally invested in it as you did, but you started getting riled up.
Yeah, I get
You started pacing back and forth in the apartment.
And
you were like yelling at the TV. It was really fun. I was so excited because I didn't expect that to be the movie that we were going to watch together that you would get so invested in. But lo and behold, that's what ended up happening.
This is the second movie we've watched.
No, it's the third movie we've watched.
While here?
Oh, second movie we watched this week. Yeah.
Here's the thing about movies. I'm realizing the reason I don't watch movies, I really do think it's because I don't want to go through the hassle of getting amped up. I'm not kidding. It is a emotional toll to watch a movie for me.
You get emotionally riled up very easily, which is funny because I watch movies because I'm like, I need to feel something other than the anger that I feel on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, dude, same. But I don't know how to. Here's the anger. Just is more. It makes it more. I get more angry.
Yeah. Then you can write more. Then you can do more stories. Then you can have more Kumitabs about the injustices of the world.
Well, to find out, I think we should both lick this lead.
Couple of lead boys, licking lead boys here.
Licking lead. Yeah, that was Kumitab, and I'm going to go Rambo on this lead microphone stand.
If you enjoyed our Kumitab, send it to somebody that you don't like just to bother them.
And say, listen to this awful podcast.
If you know Rube Waddell or the ghost of Rube Waddell, send this to him. If you knew lesbians that were in World War II that all served in the WAC organization,
go to their grave and play this out loud.
Go to their grave and play this over their grave.
Thank you for your service.
If you know a Pepsi Cola cosplayer who has like a hole cut out for the butt that they like to stick their hands out of to get a manicure, send this episode to them.
I like how he immediately died. Like that was like before Nixon made it like 2 rounds.
That's just the way it goes. That's the way Nixon's going to come back. He took a different form this time.
Every time. Last time it was what? Secundus Nixon? No, it was It was Reagan at the Comic-Con. Remember? In his pants, in his sweatpants.
All that comes back. If you like this podcast and I don't know.
No, real talk.
Yeah.
Please spread this, rate and review, Give us 5
Subscribe to
stars.
YouTube.
Leave a comment. Go to YouTube. I know this is annoying, but like it truly helps us. And if I want this podcast to keep going and to keep doing insane things like this. So please, we appreciate the support we've already gotten, but like,
yeah,
if you can, like, turn it up a little bit.
And
yeah.
thank you for getting us to episode
77.
76, 77, wherever this one was.
Yeah.
Crazy how many episodes we've done.
Insane.
And it's only getting more insane and worse. We're only bothering people more.
Okay, but for real.
Yeah.
I'm proud of this podcast, despite him.
Somebody is.
And I want people to enjoy it because I believe in it. So there.
Hannah believes in it, guys. If you guys believe in Hannah, help her achieve her dream.
Yep. I don't know how to be sincere.
I was like trying to help you make fun of it.
Shut down.
Most awkward sign off of all time. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you to Alyssa. Good luck with your move.
Yeah, thank you.
What did you say the other episode? You were like, keep it Josephine Baker.
Keep it Josephine Baker.
Keep it Josephine Baker. In the meantime, we'll be back next week with the regular episode.
Yep.
And we're going to go into our next 25 batches of episodes before, or next 25 batches. Next batch of 25 episodes before we get to Kumitab 4. Kumitab. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.